All right, Vanderbilt dominates like they should. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Vandy, your daily podcast on the Vanderbilt Commodores, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. It is a live edition of the Locked On Vandy podcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. It is a live reaction right after the game. I was at the game and I just got home, so here we are. And it's late, so it's going to be a fun one, man. And this game was lots of fun. It cleared out for good reason. And this team was absolutely dominant from the word go. I mean, Georgia State, had a really nice drive. The first series went down, got 3 points, whatever. But Vanderbilt, man, they just opened it up, and it was outstanding. Offense was sharp. Final score was 70-21. It was absolutely amazing. The comments are open if you guys want to lead. Is Whit Edwards still on the team? I believe he's hurt. I think he's on the injured reserve team if I remember correctly. He's been out for a while, so I don't think he's actually suited up. But lots to unpack here with this game. Lots of great stuff to unpack. Actually, the crowd was amazing for this one. I think everybody wanted to see this revenge game. It was family night at Vanderbilt. The stadium looks great. The drone show was outstanding. The PA guys or the people was the drone show was it was second to none. It was really cool what they were able to do. They trolled Virginia Tech and South Carolina. They played right before halftime was over. They played Inner Sandman followed by Sandstorm. It was pretty obvious. It was like the end of the drone show where they did the victory flag. The tradition that they have the victory flag. The drones did the flag, and they played Inner Sandman and Sandstorm while the flag was waving. It was very intentional, and it was great. But man, like this team, they look for real. Like I know it was Georgia State, and I know you're kind of just supposed to do that to Georgia State, but man, this was for real. This was something impressive. This was nothing to scoff at. It was it was one of those games where you just felt like Vanderbilt. You just felt like they were a legitimate SEC team, and you just feel like there's something special with this group. Speaking of special, this episode is brought to you by Mazda. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later tonight for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward. Mazda, move or be moved. So, like I said, man, this team is impressive. This team, and we're going to get into it. Let's start with the offense. The offense was sharp. First half, 42 points. I mean, they wasted no time driving it down and put one across the end zone. I mean, Pavia was patient, went through his reads. Not many passes were dropped. I mean, the run lanes were there. I mean, this team looked like they meant business from minute one. And I can't really single out a player that excelled because the whole unit excelled. I mean, Richie Hoskins had a whole bunch of catches. Junior Sherrill had some really nice moments, really nice catches. I mean, he was let's look at the stat lines here. I mean, he was, Diego Pavia was 18 of 24, 245 yards and a touchdown. Whit Muschamp got some action. He was 2 of 3 for 40 yards, and Blaze Berlowitz was 2 of 5 for 36. Drew Dickey 1 of 2 for 28. So was able to get 4 quarterbacks in. That's amazing. Diego Pavia was your leading rusher. 9 carries, 86 yards, and a tud. Cedric Alexander didn't play a whole lot. Newberry, 4 carries, 17 yards. I mean, they threw the ball a ton. Eli Stowers, your leading receiver. Tristan Brown, Junior Sherrill, each with 3 catches. Dominic Razak, whoever that is, had a catch. Richie Hoskins had 3 catches. I mean, it was pretty spread out. I mean, everybody – they threw the ball a lot, as you could tell. They had 34 passing attempts on the night. They didn't have the ball very long at times because of time up, because of they would go in between. They had the ball for 29 minutes, 49 seconds, and they would score quick. And it was just one of those games where you look at the stats, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, stats, right? They were 60% on third down, 6 of 10. Only had 10 third downs. They were 1 of 3 on fourth down, which is kind of concerning, but they had 635 total yards. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? And it was spread out pretty much amongst the whole team, it felt like. And this is one of those games where it was just fun. It was just fun to watch this offense. It was fun to watch them go. It was fun to watch them execute. It was just guys were making plays all over the place. Trent Hudson had some catches. Junior Sherrill, when he got the ball in his hands, he was electric. Caleb Barnett was electric when he had the ball in his hands. Trey Richardson, they almost hit a couple of these guys on some deep shots. They just barely missed. But, I mean, everybody contributed in a huge way. And I think the goal of this was, A, to be sharp and to make sure that in a game where you feel like you can win and win handily, you go out and actually do it. Because all week you're like, okay, yeah, this team's not very good. We should beat them here. This team is here, there, and everywhere. And, focus can be a fleeting thing. And when you don't focus, it looks ugly. And when you don't focus, well, you lose to Georgia State. And they made it a point. And I think last year's game was a big wake-up call of like, hey, you better focus on these because like teams like this can beat you. And tonight, not a chance. Not a chance they were going to let that happen, and 70-21 tells you that. They got 4 quarterbacks in. Berlowitz looked smooth running the offense. He looked comfortable. Looked like he's starting to kind of get the hang of it a little bit. I really liked A.J. Newberry. He ran hard. MK Young was solid, was great in his rushing attempts there. Defensively, they just flat got after it. Ted Hurst is really good, by the way. He's as good as advertised. I mean, every point they got was him. I mean, if they wanted to move the ball, they threw it out there to him. I mean, I think their first touchdown drive, I mean, it was Hudson. It was Hurst. Touchdown, Hurst. It was just Hurst all over the place, and he's a great receiver. I really enjoyed watching him play. But I mean, this team, if they can just have a few guys come in, I don't know. It's just hard, that team's hard to read, but nonetheless, Vanderbilt's offense was sharp, and that's really kind of you're sharp, you stay injury free, and you get that good, you get those good mental reps. You're able to get guys in the game. Like that's what you want to achieve when you play these type of games. Like you want to be able to come out and say, okay, we played a lot of guys. They got a lot of great meaningful snaps, not like kneel down snaps or like, the opposing offense is in a frenzy type snaps where you don't really get real looks or anything. Like they played actual real football, a lot of these second and third stringers. And so you're building quality depth and you're getting guys that are outside of the rotation, and you got them really good quality minutes. And that's something also that you want to achieve. And that's something also that you really like as a byproduct to this game. So like I said, offense was sharp, man. And this was outstanding. This was really good. This is one of those games where you just feel good walking out. You're just like, man, this team is like, they were supposed to dominate. I get it. And they did. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Now it's on to next week. All right, so we're going to continue to talk about this game. We are live here on Locked On Vandy. We're going to talk about this game some more, the atmosphere, what to expect moving forward, and of course your comments if you want to throw them out there, and we'll talk about it next. But first, this episode is brought to you by Mazda's moving the game forward. For those who believe it, it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it. There are moments that do more than put points on the board. They move crowds, they move culture, and they keep moving the game forward. This week's moment that moved the game forward is Cedric Alexander. He, I thought he had a really important touchdown when it felt like Vanderbilt's offense was bogging down and they were going to have to, kick a field goal there late in the half to kind of blow the game wide open. And he was able to dive through the pile, and he was able to plow into the end zone and get that game breaking touchdown. So did he keep the game moving? Yes, he did. And when you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved. Also, Wayfair. Yeah, the weather's cooling down now. The days are getting shorter, and that has me wanting to make my home feel even cozier. And when it comes to cozifying, that's right, I said it, cozifying your space this fall, Wayfair is the place to go. Wayfair has everything you need to set the mood for the season, whether it's comfy recliners, warm bedding, autumn decor, or even an espresso machine so you can make your favorite latte at home. Man, like those are all great things, right? We got an espresso machine. The recliners are always great. Like some of the patio stuff that you can get, all of it's good. You get the windows open, you get that nice cool fall breeze coming through, which it hadn't quite hit Nashville yet. I'm kind of waiting for that cool autumn breeze weather, but maybe sooner rather than later it'll show up, hopefully. So anyway, nonetheless, I gotta get ready for it. So why not go to Wayfair and get some stuff? It's the perfect time to set up your home for fall so you can enjoy cozy nights in with family and friends. Cozify your space with Wayfair's curated collection of easy, affordable fall updates. From comfy recliners to cozy bedding and autumn decor, you'll find it all for way less at wayfair.com. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. That's right, cozifying. Cozifying, yeah. If you want to cozify your house, man, that's great. Go to Wayfair. And Vanderbilt cozified that win, 70-21. Defense still has me worried. Karen, if it has you worried, don't. One of their touchdowns was a short field based on we went for it on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 in like deep in our own territory. And they had I think a 25-yard field to drive. So I'm not really worried about that. I mean, Ted Hurst is an amazing receiver and he did some damage, but like for the most part, we dominated up front. I mean, they couldn't really move the ball on the starters. It was like the 2s and the 3s that kind of gave up more yards than we would have loved. But again, those guys, like they don't get as many reps, but the starters they're locked down. So Karen, you may be worried. I'm not worried. 70-21. Yeah, okay, we gave up 21 points to Georgia State. 7 of those were in the JV game. 1 of those was on a short field, and I think the other was on like not a terribly long field, but I think. And then the first drive, they hit a couple of good plays on 3rd down and went down and got points. They hit like a 51-yard field goal or something like that. So, I'm not worried about the defense. I'm really not. They made plays. They got after it, man. Capers was outstanding. Sidnor was outstanding. Randon Fontenette was out. They were so physical. They fly around and they hit, right? And this defense is always like, if you watch this defense in every single game, except for the Charleston Southern game when there was a massive talent discrepancy, when you watch the Virginia Tech game, you watch the South Carolina game, you watch this Georgia State game where there wasn't as big of a talent gap as people might think. Just as a team and entire operation, they're not very good. But if you watch what we do defensively, we're kind of like a read you out type, kind of get a feel for what's happening. And then once we kind of figure it out, it's like freaking balls to the wall. It took us a half to figure out and really kind of get in with Virginia Tech. Although a couple of turnovers against Virginia Tech didn't really help us out too much. I think we had it down before that, but they had short fields on a couple of their scores. So it kind of gave you the wrong idea, but I wouldn't worry about the defense all that much. I mean, we still got some phenomenal teams on our schedule. Alabama, LSU, Missouri looked good tonight. Auburn looked pretty solid at Oklahoma. They lost, but they looked pretty solid. Tennessee, they did their thing. So like, there's some great offenses that we have to face coming down the stretch run of the season. But I think we have the talent, we have the physicality, we have the scheme, we have the coaching to be able to overcome a lot of that, right? Like South Carolina was supposed to be an extremely hard game for us. And yeah, I know Lenore Sellers went down and they had a backup, Luke Doty, and you can say what you want about that. However, they still had all their other weapons. They could have done anything they wanted to still. Luke Doty's good enough to be able to throw the ball down the field, and they just couldn't handle us up front. Like, I think people don't think our defensive line is is as good as it is. That group is gnarly, dude. And this offensive line, this is the first time I witnessed it in person. That is a SEC line. Like, I don't think Vanderbilt's ever had an SEC line, a true SEC line. Yeah, they play in the Southeastern Conference. Yeah, they have linemen, but they're not SEC linemen, right? This group, you look at them across the board, you're like, whoa, those guys are monsters. Those guys look like they run out there, and it's just the way they run, the way they line up, the way they come off the ball, the way they just maul you. They look like an SEC line. Same on defense. Like you watch them get off the ball, you watch them just rip through those linemen, rip through those offensive linemen. It's unbelievable. Like, we have SEC lines, and defensively we have way more rotators, and we have guys like Jalen Stone, like those type guys that you would have never thought would. Like, I didn't think Jalen Stone was going to contribute much because of his injury, possibly, and just because like he was so far down. But they rotate a lot of guys. That defensive line is ridiculous. I mean, it's unbelievable. And Karen, yeah, we can score against anybody, and it's because we're stout up front. We've got a bunch of road graders. We have a great scheme. These guys execute. The poise that these guys have is unbelievable. And they just flat out get it done, right? And I don't even it's crazy. I don't even have to use stats to back this up. I mean, you just look at it. 70 points, like that ain't all Pavia. That ain't all the starters. Like, Pavia went out, it was 56. They scored a few more times with the backups. Like, I don't think people realize that. Vandy loses to Missouri, Texas, and of course, Big Bro to I mean, I know Texas looked better today, but I don't know, man. I don't know, Jacob. I don't know about all that. I mean, Missouri's good too. Still got LSU on the schedule. I love that you're picking the win against Alabama. I love that that's like a definitive win, which, I mean, it's not a slam dunk. Alabama's good. So is Vandy. 9-3 outside in, looking in the playoffs. You never know. Yeah, this is a crazy season, right? I mean, Missouri had to fight to hang with South Carolina. I think if Missouri gets in a similar position with Vanderbilt as they did against South Carolina, they're going to find themselves on the wrong end of a loss here, because that's not like Vanderbilt's not a, and this is still very odd to say. And I say odd because so many years you would never even imagine being able to say this. But if you get down to Vanderbilt, they have the ability to bury you. And now I'm not even talking about the score. I'm just talking about like they can just straight rip your will right out of your chest. And they have the ability to do that. So if like Missouri got down like they did against South Carolina, it could be it. Like that could be it for them. Like they can actually go down. Same with any game on their schedule. Like if these teams come in with that mindset and Vanderbilt gets up on you, like you want to talk about a front-running team, like when they get up, holy cow, you better watch out because they're going to bury you, right? If they get down, I don't know that they're equipped to make a huge comeback, but like they'll stay in some games. They will stay in some games. That's for sure, right? Mark Cuban was in the crowd. He needs to fork over some money to keep the roster from getting ransacked. Hey, Corey, if you know Mark Cuban, you want to just like give him a shout. Mark Cuban, if you happen to stumble upon this YouTube channel, please get some money over there, man. Let's get this roster building. That's an interesting guest. That's for sure. Jacob, yeah, Vandy is amazing on the road. Heck, they might be the best country in winning on the road. I see them beating either Bama or Texas on the road. Not both, but definitely one of the two. Yeah, I can see that. But like, if Arch Manning gets to like skipping some passes and he's not sharp, which he really hasn't been, if we're in that game, I don't know that Texas wins. If Vanderbilt is in that game up front, they're physical enough. Like they can rattle Arch Manning. That's not hard to do, but they can rattle Arch Manning. It's interesting, isn't it? It's very, very interesting. We're gonna keep going. Keep the comments coming. We're gonna keep going here next. You're a Square. No, this episode is brought to you by Square. Your favorite neighborhood spots run on Square. There are certain businesses that truly make the neighborhood feel like home, whether it's the local sports bar packed on game days, the coffee shop that knows your order by heart, or the corner deli that's been serving the community for decades. These are the places that bring people together. When neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives, right? There's a bunch of local spots like Tailgate Brewery, At Least Barbecue, all of those local spots. Man, it's so good, man. It feels like home. You walk in, it just has that homey type feeling, right? And it just even though you might not know everybody, it just kind of feels like you do, right? And that's just kind of what makes it go. There's the community, everybody's nice, everybody's high-fiving if there's a football game on, people are friendly. It just has that local feel to it, and that local whatever. You can't really, it's one of those feelings you can't really explain, but you just walk in and you just know. You just walk in, it's just like like Creve Hall Bagel. You walk in, man, you just know. It just feels like home. Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square, see you in the neighborhood. Hey, DoorDash. I hope they delivered for you this Saturday. It's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on who delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most. Let's break it down. For Vanderbilt, where do I start? The whole team. I know that's a cop-out, but it's true. The whole team delivered in a huge way. I mean, there was from every touchdown, even the backups, you had you had a blocked punt, blocked field goal, you had a long return, you had a bunch of exciting plays. I mean, there's too many to name, and this is one of those games where it's like, shoot, like there's nobody that stood out because everybody made a play, and everybody came through with no hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching week after week, this performance was not a fluke. And the Vanderbilt Commodores are on a streak. And just like the Vanderbilt Commodores delivered, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every Saturday you order, stack it up all season, and you can save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period's good through 11/18. All right, wrapping up here. Locked on Vandy. We are live after a total, absolute beatdown. And it was unbelievable. Yeah, New Mexico State delivered the most. Corey, I don't know if you were around when I was saying the Vandy State Aggie doors. I don't know if you were around when I was saying all that, but I mean, it's true. It's absolutely true. So yeah, Jamie, we're going to be able to stay in some games and win those games. Not just stay in them, win them. Right? This roster is very deep. Corey, yes, there's nobody that can automatically blow Vanderbilt out that's left on the schedule. I don't think there is. I mean, it's, football is a crazy sport, so it could happen, obviously. There's teams capable of that. But Vanderbilt's capable of blowing out any team on the schedule too. Like Vanderbilt is they very much belong in the same category with everyone else on the schedule. Like I mean, you could have legitimate reasons for them to beat Alabama. You could have legitimate reasons for them to beat LSU, Missouri, Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee, like all those games. You could see them. You could see legitimate reasons. Have we been able to say that for Vanderbilt's entire schedule? No. Are they going to go 12-0? Probably not. Probably not. That would be great if we did, but I don't think they go 12-0. That's a tough gig no matter who you are. Even if you're Georgia, 12-0 is tough. So I don't know that that's going to happen realistically. I mean, of course, I'm going to be a homer and say, yeah, Vanderbilt's going to win every game, right? They can. Like, there's not, like, in years past, like, you could say, okay, Vanderbilt's got this one. Okay, this one's going to be a definite loss. And, before the season, my losses, and they weren't definite. I'm just saying that these are two games that are most likely to lose, and that was LSU and Alabama is kind of where I had it as automatic losses. I hadn't beaten Texas. I'm just not a believer in Arch Manning. I'm just not. I just don't think he processes fast enough. I don't know that he's mentally tough enough. I know. We'll see. 10-2 is definitely realistic. That's for sure. And for those that say don't get ahead of yourself, I mean, we can talk about that. Clark Lee's not going to talk about it. So why not come over here? Why not come over here for Coach Burton to talk about it? This coach will talk about the remaining schedule. Around the league, it was interesting around the league before I get out of here. Florida, it's getting rough over there. It's getting rough. That was, like I said, I was at the game, so I wasn't able to watch much. I was kind of scoreboard watching a little bit. Just to be glad. Yeah, LSU beat Southeast Louisiana 56-10. They gave up 10 points to Southeast Louisiana. Yeah, that's a definite win. No, just kidding. That's not a definite win. They're good. 26-7, Miami victorious over Florida. It's getting bad down there in Gatorland. Texas 55 zip over Sam Houston. Arch Manning 18-21, 309, 3 touchdowns. Sam Houston is bad. Let's see him put that up again. Oklahoma beating Auburn. That was a really good back and forth game. Both teams looked incredible. I just think Oklahoma, like I said, Oklahoma made a couple more plays than Auburn did, and they ended up winning the game. Mateer, 24-36, 271, and a tutty. That game was interesting. Ole Miss beat the hell out of Tulane, which is kind of surprising. I thought Tulane was better. It just won their day. Tennessee giving up 24 to UAB, winning 56-24. And South Carolina, that was that, from what I'm gonna watch the highlights here in a minute, but that seemed like it was a pretty good game. Lenore Sellers, 18-28, 302 and 2 tuds in a losing effort. It's gonna be interesting moving forward. And this is gonna be kind of fun. Just be glad you're not Illinois. You're the 9th ranked team in the country, and you lose 63-10. Let that sink in. 63-10. Ooh, it's not good. It's not good. But you look at those scores, and I mean, again, it's whatever it is, what it is. But yeah, I don't want Nico. I don't want Nico. I don't. I don't think Clark Lee would want Nico. I mean, what he did to Tennessee, he quit on UCLA. He just, I don't want him at all. Tennessee might want him back. They probably don't. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't think he goes to Vanderbilt. I don't think Vanderbilt wants him. I don't think they pursue him. But this portal class is going to be really interesting. Really, really interesting if they go, if they win at least 9. Hopefully they win 10 for the first time in program history. Pull what Iowa State pulled last year, which they did the same thing. Iowa State's kind of like the Vanderbilt of the Midwest. They're good now. They got a great coach, Matt Campbell. Vanderbilt, very similar path actually. If you kind of really look at them, very similar path. As far as how how their seasons go and all that stuff. Like they had some really they had Seneca Wallace. Vanderbilt had Jay Cutler. They had a couple of good years here and there, but for the most part, they've been pretty bad. And then they hired Matt Campbell, who it took him a minute to get off the ground, but here we are with Iowa State. They were in the conference championship last year. I don't know if Vanderbilt's going to get to the conference championship. It's a tough conference to do so, but they're going to be good. They're going to be good. What happens is if they make the playoffs? I think the program changes beyond what has changed for Indiana. Like I think people still don't really buy Indiana because I don't know that they've really ever had a good season outside of last year. Like they've had some decent ones, obviously some bowl seasons and a couple of blips where they were pretty good with Antoine Randall. But I think Vanderbilt, not ton different, but at least they've had some bowl seasons. They've had some really good 9-win seasons under James Franklin. Like they play in the SEC. They're in a great city. They have a lot more going for them in Nashville, Tennessee than they do Bloomington, Indiana. I just think the area, the conference, the exposure, the TV deals, all that stuff, I think favors Vanderbilt more than Indiana. So I think if Vanderbilt were to somehow make the playoffs, which it's pretty possible, if they somehow sneak into the playoffs, the result won't matter. Indiana got shellacked. As long as they don't get absolutely curb stomped in the playoff game, they play a competitive playoff game. I don't think the result really matters beyond that. If they make the playoff, it's going to be a game changer, and they're going to be really, really good. And they're going to be, it's going to be good. So that's what I'm looking for. College game day for LSU game. I'm looking for college game day in Nashville to be for the LSU game. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think it'll be at Alabama too, maybe. I don't know. Nashville's not a cooler town than Bloomington, Indiana. Jacob. Bro. Bloomington's fun. Don't get me wrong. They're fun. Bloomington's fun. I've been to Bloomington. It's fun. It's a quaint college town. It reminded me a lot of Athens, actually, to be fair. It's cool. I have no problems with Indiana. I really don't. I like Indiana. A friend of mine went to law school. Yeah, no, it's not a true college town. No, I get that. I still think it's cooler. Yeah, I still think it's cooler though. Yeah, but I think with NIL opportunities, you definitely want to be in Nashville for that. But yeah, so 70-21. You can continue on the comments. Total domination, revenge, check. Domination, check. Offense was extremely sharp, check. Total team effort, check. I said on the squad show they were going to put a 50-piece. I was wrong. They put a 70-piece on the Georgia State. And with that, I'm out. Thank you, down. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll come back at you soon. See you when I see you. Thank you, down. Peace.